Hello. Yes, today is a rather special day, a rather prestigious day. The Big Four. It's been 4 fucking years since we started the channel. Over on YouTube, I should admit, not on Twitch, but everything on Twitch goes over to YouTube eventually anyway. But yeah. And I should just explain how this works for anyone who doesn't know. Back in 2021, I guess it would have been, I had a very brief conceptualization for two OCs, which have become the defining factors of a universe building project that I'm currently working on and have been working on for the past 4 years. And basically, everything that I've drawn since 2022 has technically been a part of that, unless it's already part of another universe, if that makes sense. And within that, right, I think everybody that follows over here or subs on YouTube technically becomes part of that universe. As such does my avatar, which is this character here. It's crazy. And just a little insight on how stuff does actually work. Pretty much, the channelversary or the big number, it essentially works a bit like a new year in terms of CNC. In the way that basically what we now do is go ahead and redraw the two kind of main entities, Kadat and Krayat, but I've got a newfound way of doing it. See, what I've been doing over the past year is storyboarding and then beginning to animate an actual thing that combines every version of CNC into one. And what we're going to do is year by year is keep adding on to the animation with the previous ones, but then draw the new versions afterwards, if that makes sense. So without any further ado, let's just get right into that. By the way, this didn't really take too long songs, mate, but I think the simplicity of this thing actually works really well, and like you can see the full kind of side of it is covered in skills too. I actually wore this thing to Comic Con. It was my first time ever there. It was amazing, and a bunch of people wanted to take photos, so that was awesome. You can actually see, yeah. So this is plastic, because basically what I've done is I put black paper all in the inside of here, so it makes it darker. So when you're in like a darker space, obviously, without like layering right in straight, it is literally just full black, so it looks like the pupil of an eye. And because this is plastic, you can't exactly just poke your finger in, which is super duper handy. I've been told to be quiet. Without any further ado, we're going to get on with this and try to be as quiet as possible, but also we're going to enjoy it and relish it as much as we can. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy the process. My socials, because I'm probably not going to be able to talk in after this point, my socials are linked over here. And there's going to be a Halloween skit, or like a pumpkin skit. There's some clay and some stop motion going up soon. So yeah, we're really getting into our animation spirit currently. And I'm probably going to be posting some Uniwork soon as well over there. So if you want to check it out, feel free. Also, all of the VODs from Twitch get uploaded to YouTube, which is also linked over here. So if you want to check it out, feel free. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get on with this, and then we'll get on to the actual drawing or the redrawing of our two main OCs. I might think wear this thing more on the stream. It's kind of fun, especially when we have like music and stuff. I could do a photo shoot in it because I have like a full bodysuit as well. What I might just do real quick as well is a full animation test, because I haven't played this thing in a while. Also, it takes up so much storage. The whole kind of concept with this is just playing onto the original idea I made with a very kind of, not immersive, a very kind of, I don't quite know how to describe it, but I made essentially like a quote-unquote stop-motion animation a couple of years ago, detailing this exact process of like this event, like this thing. I'm pretty sure it was on the anniversary. It might have been last year, to be honest. But yeah, basically how these two beings come into play and power. And I should just explain real quick. So if we go into animation mode real quick as well, I just want to explain. So the CCU is based around two OCs called Kalat and Klayat. They are essentially beyond everything, anything that never has, never was, never is, always has, always is, always will be. They're like beyond infinity, if that makes sense. It's like what Buzz Lightyear says, to infinity and beyond. Obviously, you can't go beyond infinity, except these guys can. They're beyond anything, and if anything new gets invented or new kind of like becomes so powerful, they stay above that and gain knowledge of it almost instantly, and they can even see it before it does, and never will, never has, always will, always is happening. It's a weird old concept I came up with. Don't really know what I was thinking at the time, but I've just stuck with it. And the colours I went for them is green and purple. So Kadat is green, and they basically have control over all characters, no matter how wacky, how villainous, or anything like that. Because these aren't essentially the basic order and chaos, the understanding of like good and bad. It's more about balance, and that's what this whole kind of universe or continuum bases off of. I should just explain actually as well. CCU doesn't stand for the Creatures and Characters universe, as one might think. It stands for the Creatures and Characters Continuum Ultimatum. Because basically how it works within this ultimatum continuum sort of thing is, how do I put this? So there's the whole concept of like multiverses and stuff. We're about to get real deep. So you have planets, multiple planets make up, multiple planets and stars and celestial masses and bodies, they make up a galaxy. Multiple galaxies make up a universe, multiple universes make up a multiverse. However, multiple multiverses make up an omniverse. Multiple omniverses make up a ultimatum, a multiple ultimatums. No, wait, I got that wrong. So multiple omniverses creates an ultraverse. Multiple ultraverses creates an ultimatum, and then multiple ultimatums creates a continuum, which is just a continuous sort of apparel of non-existent, always is existent, always has existed, never will exist, always will exist, never will exist. And it's a very confusing concept to get your head around, but yeah, it's the thing. So I have a video basically explaining everything, the whole lore behind, the base lore behind it. I've actually developed like a full language. I've gone into the means of like developing like a full literary device for this sort of universe, which is basically based off of a language. I need to remember the name of it. There's a language style called so there's It's basically a language that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared use. Name of the language in... give me a sec here, guys. Fucking notifications, piss off. Oh my god. Name of the language in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Here we go. Is it this one? I might just need to watch a quick video on how... Or, wait, no, character, yeah. Language characters that contain a whole sentence. No, just fucking type properly. Contain. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically... Oh, fuck's sake. I might just have to watch a video real quick just to get this back up. I know we're kind of getting sidetracked here, but it needs to be explained because it's part of the lore. Basically, within this universe, the way that these two beings communicate, and basically all the gods beneath them, which are the three, which are Ektu, Sia, and Spurk, which are essentially the seer, the speaker, and the hearer, and they basically are this... It's a bit of a reference to Living Tribunal, sort of three faces, or three entities that are fully embodied by the things that are used to see, speak, and hear. So the speaker's made completely out of mouths, the listeners or the hearers made completely out of ears, the seers made completely out of eyes. Yeah. If I go along to don't and then we go, there we go. Sorry about this. We'll get onto the animation. Tell you what, while we're waiting for this to go, what we can do is actually just play the animation, because this is pretty sick. Yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing is just finishing off a couple frames on here, get the animation flowing, which we're then going to post everywhere and probably pin everywhere as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw some new versions, obviously in C. But the way that it's going to work is every year that we draw something, by the next year they would have been added to the animation in some way. And I already kind of know the style I'm going for this year and how they're going to be added. So it should be pretty sick. Here we go. Right, I think I've found the language.
Made up from ideograms are able to tell very complex stories with relatively few symbols. If you want an example, we can look at languages made up from ideograms are able to tell very
ideograms, that's what I mean. So basically the language I've developed is pretty much like characters in the Japanese or Chinese or basically any language that has both the words and then the characters that translate to the words, except the characters that I use when it comes to doing stuff It's kind of been done in hieroglyphics are a great example of this actually. Yeah, um, the way that I do mine, it's quite a weird way, and it works in the way that you basically just mash all of them together, but all of the lines from each one have to be joining up, so it's just a constant flow state. If you've ever seen the movie Arrival, it's kind of actually based off the um, language that um, the aliens use. It's based off the language that Abbott and Costello use in Arrival, um, with the whole idea being that it's just one continuous thing, and it can be interpreted as so many different things because you could spot like the different letters of translation in there. And then that for me is how technically in this universe there are so many different languages and so many different cultures, because based off of this, the first peoples saw like this language all mashed together. They took that and be like, okay, so this combination of this stuff means this letter, and then they developed alphabets of their own or ideograms of their own. But the actual original alphabet or the actual original ideogram is the text that I've got, and it's called Lota, which is basically language of the ancients, abbreviated LOTA, and it's how C&C communicate. I've explained it on stream before, but it's basically they just talk gibberish to each other, but you think what you want to say to the other person, and even though it sounds like gibberish from another person's perspective, the person you're talking to understands what you're saying, and it comes across as what you're thinking. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but without any further ado, I'm just going to play this animation, show where we're up to right now, and I think the speed is right, but I might just need to change it. So where we're at right now is we've got the asteroids mostly done, and this took a lot of planning. So as I said, this isn't just me gone in and done the animation. What I've actually done is over the past year I've gone and storyboarded this, and then taken out some of the storyboard frames, made some of the stuff more detailed, and then actually gone in and... Where's that one not got stuff on it? Oh yeah, I was doing these without the bits and then gonna add them in afterwards. Yeah, okay, cool. The way that this has been done is storyboarded, and then we've done basically cut storyboard frames out, but mashed them close together, added more detail, put it on here basically just by drawing a ball and a tail, done the full animation like that, had a mess around with the background, added some bits in that I weren't planning to do, including all of the previous versions of the C&C stuff, and we'll actually play the whole thing, because I've got some bits cut off right now because they're in hidden sections because they're not finished, but we might as well just show the whole animation because the plan is to get it finished today and now. And I'm also going to watch the new Hermitcraft, which has just started, rather cool. The weird thing is, yeah, Hermitcraft usually starts in the next year over, so they also started in the Nether this time. Also, the kind of Nautilus and everything is coming out very soon, so I'm quite excited for that. Yeah, I'm a player of Minecraft. I use it basically just a bit like a extra art bit. I do some sculptures, like building organic things like dragons and all of that. But yeah, it's hella fun. Right, if we just go here, what we can do is just find the end frame, which is about 390. We'll put it on we'll tell you what, we'll just put this on 400 instead. And then what we can do is play, and I can show you from the start how this entire thing looks and how it's going to look. So just give that a second to play. And that right there, that stuff in the middle is the ideogram of basically their names, pretty much. So if we just pause it on when the card cracks. So this ideogram here is actually a bunch of separate characters that have been put together in a way to look like one just malformed thing, but you can almost just pick them out because I haven't really matched them too well, which I'm going to do a bit better when it comes to the actual overlaying stuff. But you can see that this one here, or let me grab the pen real quick. You can see that this here is kind of one thing, and then you've got like the time symbol up the top here as well, which is also T. This is O. I'm actually pretty sure this says creatures and characters continuum ultimatum, as explained what CCU means. However, the difference with this ideogrammic language is that when you're doing a word, you don't repeat letters. So continuum has more than one I in it, but you'd only use the I ideogram character once, which is why when it comes back to like the language and like the divulgence of all of it, there is so many different languages, both in kind of our universe, because it expands into that, and then also all the other worlds I'm going to create, essentially. And what I plan to do eventually is make this into somewhat of a comic series, because I've already got a sort of comic going that I want to develop into like a web comic, and maybe then get up and going, which will be pretty sick, along with commissions next year, which are going to be absolutely amazing. But without any further ado, we are pretty much just going to go on with this animation and try and get it finished without crashing our laptop and then get exported as well. Where are we at then? Where were we at with stuff? I think we must have got about here, right? No, that's oh damn, we got like pretty close to the... Oh, so we literally did get like right up to everything. Yeah, so this is like the last frame. I think what we need to do then is just add the tail effects to all of these. So there's like the little meteors that come to me at the beginning. I think it works best on 200 speed or like 195. If you go 200 it feels too fast, but 195 just has like an effect on it. I don't want it to be like super rigid and sort of frozen, if that's the right word. Static is what I meant. But I want there to be that element of this like old timey footage, because I'm going to add some black noise bits over the top in post, because there's still quite a lot to do with this when it comes to effects as well, and obviously sound is going to be a massive part of this too. The whole beginning before the coloured bits though is actually going to be silent, and the sound's going to basically swell and build up, because this is essentially meant to be like the genesis or the beginning of everything, where sound, time, light, all of it didn't exist. The only way you'll actually be able to see it is because you need to have something to be able to perceive or conceive to understand a certain topic, whereas this just wouldn't be like conceivable by any mind, no matter how powerful, not even theirs at this point, but because we're in kind of like a state where we need to see something happen, this is kind of what I'm imagining it would be, because even I don't know what it would actually look like, because it's inconceivable. But this is basically a depiction of it, if that makes sense. Yes, sorry, I didn't know, sorry, I haven't actually been watching chat. I should probably be watching that more. I hadn't realised when you put that, but my art is going more digitally tabulated. But I've been working on this over the past year or so. I do want to do more digital art as well, that's the thing. I've got a bunch of Unigraphics, as I said before, on last stream, I think, that I need to make. And we've actually got a bit of character design within that, which should be epic. But yeah, good to see you again, and obviously thanks for coming in. I can't do music this time because yes, I'm viewing it through the window. Puns are back. I'm not going to be able to play music this time because people are in bed, and I was been told to shut up once, so I'll try to be as quiet as I can, but obviously if you guys got any questions, I'll try to answer them as best I can as well. But like I said, I'm going to be watching the new episodes of Hermitcraft, because what the hell not. I kind of fell off with last season a bit. I don't really know why, but hopefully this time around we kind of stick to it a bit more, maybe. But yeah, I've fallen a lot back in with Don't Hug Him Scared, and it's really like impacting my uni work in a way that I'm really liking. It's amazing. I've also been watching or catching up on Dispatch, the new game that's dropped. It's basically like a comic book brought to life. It's really strange, but yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about the sorry about the abundant silence. Um, yeah, but I've been catching up on Dispatch with a couple different people because obviously it's a choice-based game, so you can like have multiple endings. But yeah, it looks really good. If I do get a chance to play it, I definitely will. They might even do it as a study at uni. So yeah. The fact that it's actually making me laugh is kind of. I've been in a very dry mood today. Like I haven't really been. To be fair, I got some great news today as well. But yeah. What we're going to do is basically add tails to this thing. If I remember Hazius correctly, if we go at this, basically we just grab the specific brush. Is it this one? Are we on the right brush or not? Yeah, cool. And all of this is fairly easy too. Bit of that, bit of this. And then basically all we're doing is making these look like they're sort of floating through space or some sort of spatial area. Yeah, I'm sorry about Inksailor, dude, but I should say sorry to everybody as well about Inksailor. I explained it last stream as well. I think uni work just came up and it kind of got in the way. But oh, I am using Krita, which is basically free Photoshop. It's a bit like Procreate, but yeah, again free. It's actually really good as well, like considering stuff. Easy to wrap your head around. I mean, I use it for like thumbnails and stuff sometimes too, not just painting. You can do animation, you can see. But yeah. I've used ClipArt Studio before, but I only did it on a free trial. I think we do get access to pretty much all the Adobe apps at uni, but yeah, ClipArt and Procreate, I do want to try at some point, maybe do like a stream or a video where I just try all of the art programs. I want to do a thing at some point where we do literally what does every Adobe app do, because that'd be quite fun. But yeah, I've never heard of Rebel 8 Pro. I found that there's one called Zara today as well, which is also near my shop. So yeah, there's a lot that I still don't know. My brain is still developing. My brain is still braining. Considering I haven't done this in a while, I'm quite surprised I know what I'm doing. Alright, and then all we do is basically make this a lot thinner. Just add a couple of bits of pretty sure it's just like this. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, when it comes to digital, I don't know if there's really a difference between drawing and painting. I mean, there probably definitely is, like, from certain people's point of view, but yeah, I can't paint, like, when it comes to actual canvas stuff. When it comes to digital, painting is, like, a dream for me, but, like, traditional painting is, yeah, horrible. I have done this on the wrong frame. This is why you always should check your frames when you're doing animation. Just like when you should always check your layers when you're doing other stuffs. This way is on here, you can hold down Control Z, just deletes everything. I'm probably better off doing this in the frontward momentum so I know where the lines are going. There we go. That's not right. That's green. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been drawing a lot of like fire and stuff recently as well, so yeah. I did actually do, I think I did Bob Ross but digitally a couple years ago. I want to revisit that concept maybe for a stream. Bob Ross for digital. I mean, apart from that, I don't think I've ever watched a Bob Ross video. Yes, happy little accents. Some happy little trees and some happy little accents. Is his son still doing? Is his son still doing the because I know his son took up the kind of painting stuff. I'll have a look after stream. Nope. I think I've also gotten to the point where my line efficiency is much better too. As I said, I've been drawing a lot of fire and stuff recently, so. I think it's just, yeah, now what we do is just go low opacity, bring these up a bit, and then just go like this. Basically, we just wrap that around there. Yeah, cool. Do the same with the green. Cool. And it's at this point here I kind of want them to like really explode with energy. So just Bob Ross's spin technique. Well, officers. Ooh. I mean, I almost went to. They had a Bob Ross thing. I think it's a Comic Con. Painting course. I think I just missed it because I went to the community meetup outside with all the furries. But yeah. Again, I mean, the videos are still out there. There's like, how many did he made loads of videos, right? I think there's actually a description on what he eventually did, because there was criticism that he was just painting the same thing over and over, but with variation. If you put all of his paintings lined up, it actually takes you on somewhat of a journey, and it is almost a bit like a stop motion animation. It takes you through like the Alaskan environment. It's really, really cool to watch. But his very first painting to his very last, if you play them in stop motion animation, it's almost like a flip book animation. It's really, really, really cool. I could do just more like Bob Ross stuff in 2026, to be honest. I have something big planned for 2026 as well, and I want to talk about it like New Year time, because it is gonna not only affect YouTube but Twitch as well. Yeah, we need to have like a proper sit down and chat about it. It's not something I can just like say and then leave. Yeah, the energy's kind of exploding a bit. Cool. Ooh. Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot about. Like, I just completely forgot about 5th November this year. I was meant to do like firework animation. I just completely blew past me. To be fair, I was doing quite a lot of uni work, but oh, I haven't watched Viva Investor in ages. That might be a shout actually. I might watch it this evening. Good old movie. Or is it a TV series? I don't remember. I watched it a while ago. No, I am streaming next year. No. I am streaming next year. That's not what I meant. This is what I didn't really want to talk about too much, because I don't want to read into. Well, I don't want to read into it. I don't want other people reading into it too much. But yeah, I just need to have a sit down and chat. We're going to continue streaming. We're going to continue making videos, but there's going to be a certain aspect about stuff that's going to change, and it's a certain aspect that I feel like I've dropped out of a bit this year. But yeah, basically we can do it on the time that we can get closest to New Year. It probably won't be on New Year on the dot, but I need to get it done before midnight on December the 31st, because the first day of January is going to be like a crucial part of all of it. Basically a little experiment for next year, pretty much. No. Double the puns and jokes. Obviously, you have to wait till next year. So, no. I guess it could be called a resolution in some ways, but yeah, I don't know. I should just, it's something that's not really going to affect Twitch as much as it will the YouTube as well. Yeah. And it's something I've been thinking about for a while. As we've been like going through uni and stuff, and style has been developing and all of that, and yeah, cool. As I mentioned, I do want to start commissions. That's not the announcement. But yeah. Yeah, that was right. There we go. It's starting to get sort of like paint spotty. Give me more puns. Challenge accepted. I need to laugh more next year. I feel like I haven't enjoyed life as much as I should this year. That sounds really bad. Like depression. I mean, depression is kind of something that I need to. Well, I need to talk about it another time. But yeah. I don't know if I really need to address it, or I mean, people know what depression is, but yeah. But I don't think we'll talk about it in the thing that's coming up. It'll have to be like a separate little thing that I do at some point. There we go. Hello, welcome in. Another person here. Animation cleanup for a little animation that I'm doing. How much have we got? We got a couple frames. It is literally just these frames here, because it is literally just having the tail sequence and then sort out the card, which we need to import an image for, which I didn't really think about. Fuck. You know, that took me a while to get. Yeah. uh, I mean, uni is like a massive help of it because it's just an escape from stuff. But yeah, and also these things are a massive help as well. Feel stress relief and kind of happiness and joy, except when shit goes wrong and then stuff has to get to me. There is stuff that's there is specific. Again, I'm not going to go into full detail, but there is specific stuff that hits me in a certain way, and yeah. Have I been to speak to someone? No, because every time I almost do, I decide not to, and then yeah. I probably should. When I say speak to someone, I like to speak to people at uni and stuff, but yeah, never any sort of professional stuff. It's the energy is swelling. This is looking really awesome. It's another concept I figured out at some point as well is drawing mental stuffs as like creatures or something. I know it's been done before, but I want to do it my own way because Star Wars and everything. It could be quite fun. I somewhat did it for uni last year. Um, Designed like the concept for a game where you fight these battles that are basically designed in the way of the sort of mental stuffs, but also the actual creature itself is like an amalgamation of the mental things. Um, yeah, but yeah, drawing like things as monsters. So it's an odd little concept, isn't it? Usually people see like monsters as this thing of like horrification, I guess, or like bad things. But drawing monsters for me, or drawing bad things as monsters for me, is therapeutic in a way, I guess. Strange. And I've said this on stream before. Um, I don't know if I quite explained it too well. Everything that I see anywhere is like a monster in my head, pretty much, or like a creature, internally, or a character. Like even the laptop that I'm using right now, I can see as like a mimic or something like that from D&D. But it's not just with physical stuff. It can also be with, again, like non-physical stuff too. I can imagine like what a creature of the embodiment of sight would look like, or the embodiment of the master of beasts or of profanity or of fear or whatever would look like. Like, it doesn't have to be a physical thing, but I can almost see in my mind of what like that would be as a creature. And then obviously having it be like a physical thing in a real world obviously helps massively too. Yeah. I suppose it's a song, right? Or a band. Tame the Beast within you. I think that's a song or a band. It's got to be a song or a band at some point. Like, the first thing that comes to my head is Monster by Fall Out Boy, but I'm pretty sure there is like an actual song called Tame the Beast or The Beast Within or something like that. Yeah. Shit. That's not right. Why do we keep pressing FN? Let's stop doing that. Function. No, that's not right either. Wasted all my luck on my lines. There we go, that's better. Right angles. There we go. That's better. I got a comment when I was working maces in this. Apparently they look like koi fish a bit. I think it's because they're all like the tendrils and stuff. Yeah, but this is like genuinely the first time I think any of you were seeing this as well, because pretty sure I've shared like no media surrounding this at all. It's quite fun. It's just subtly been sat in the background for a bit. Is that a quote from somewhere? Have you just written that? I feel like I've... It feels like something a character from a show would say. Or from a book. Oh, who am I thinking of? It sounds like something out of Vox Machina, I think. No. Not Vox Machina. Who am I thinking of? There is a... I can't remember. No, there's like a quote that's very similar to what, like, I Tame the Beast Within Me. Like, there is a quote that's so, like, stupidly similar to that. Like, I just can't remember where it's from. I think it's either from an animated series or movie, but it's like a very, very deep moment. Yeah. The world needs more silly people. I would say silly in the sensible way, if that makes sense. Like, not silly as in fucking around with stupid shit, but I think the world just needs to be a bit more silly sometimes. It's yeah. There probably is something like International Silly Day or something like that, but are we almost there? I think so. Yeah. Wait, where's the next? Oh, so that's the coverage frame. We're on what? We're on this. No, this one. If that's the coverage frame, yeah, we're not that far off. Okay, cool. Only a couple more. And then we can sort some new avatars. Well, not new avatars, same characters, new style. It's a little style I've been developing for the game we're currently designing in uni as well. so I'm really excited because it's like superly simple, but they're also like little cuties. Yeah. There are some silly people in Britain. And the rest of the UK too. Yeah. There we go. Energy is surging around this thing. There we go, cool. It's going pretty well so far. It's not even midnight yet. It's a massive upgrade since I last actually animated this, so very happy. Oh. I could do Minecraft on an episode, actually. Minecraft on an episode? I could do Minecraft on the stream at some point. Trying to sculpt in Minecraft like you do in Blender. Could be quite fun. Show you some of my builds that I've done in Worlds. I get quite like detailed and cynical when it comes to it, like I massively overthink stuff. But like when it comes to doing like actual builds, I don't really use reference. I kind of just build off like what I have as an image in my head. Like I built a truck once, and it was literally just image out of my head. It is literally, it looks like a truck from real life. It's really strange. Kind of crazy. Did I don't think I did the purple yet, did I? It's the purple we need to opacitate, really, because it's a darker colour. Oop. There we go, cool. It's going pretty well so far. I'm very happy. Or actually, tell you what, if my laptop dies before we finish the animation, what I'll do is draw the characters, need a little intermission, leave it there, and then have the animation done by the next day. Because it'll probably either be going up on here, it's like a miniature stream to show you, or again, my socials on YouTube, which are linked over here. Let's just move the camera a bit because it is leaning off the edge of the table. Just saying, we might be live tomorrow as well, because like I said, I've got uni graphics I want to do, so yeah. It depends, I don't know. But yeah, there's a likely chance we will be. There we go, starting to make a bit more ball. Cool. This is going to look sick when it's done. This would be better with music, yeah. I like drawing energy, it's really fun. A lot of lines and a lot of expressive stuffs. I like drawing like orbital beams as well, like just fucking tearing through the environment. getting to the point now where it's starting to fill up the screen, which is really handy because it means I don't have to do this anymore. Oh, is this the frame we're on? Oh, damn. This is the last 2 frames before it starts to merge. Oh, damn. Like, it starts to fill up the whole screen is what I mean. Because it, like, bounces around a bit, using a bit of, like, movement physics. Blech. I need to make overlays at some point as well. Do it on stream. Stream myself drawing overlays. Could be quite fun. Problem is, I don't know what I do as an overlay. Like, I always imagine it based on like someone else's, and then I come to do it, and I'm like, what the fuck am I even doing? So yeah, I might just sit down one day and just go full intrusive thought and just try and do it based off that, basically. But yeah, coming back to this, stepping away from this animation and coming back to it is done to be the biggest friggin' deal ever, because this is looking sick. Starting to sort of envelop the screen now. Cool. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Mm-hmm. There we go. And now we're getting to the point where it's starting to fill, and we don't need to do this as much, but we'll just still do it anyway. Oh, so lighter, otherwise it's going to fill everything. Cool. Right. I think that's literally the last frame. Yeah, pretty much the last frame that needs to happen is right there. I'm just going to add just a bit of like ambience with the greens and purps here. There we go. Same thing here. Add a bit of lighting effects. Basically, as this animation goes on, the colour gets stronger and stronger. So I've just got to kind of keep the glow going all the way through it. It was just kind of... There we go. And now, cool. They sort of fade into view. That happens. This is all still meant to happen there. It's the original drawing. That's the first ever drawing. This is the first ever iteration where I properly went and digitally drew them. And it is, I think, still on my socials somewhere. So, yeah, and check it out, feel free. I think it's actually part of the original, I think it's part of the original sort of immersive experience that I made. I'll have to go through a video afterwards at some point. Yeah, just basically just get brighter and brighter and brighter. That happens, and then sort of little card appears. This is what we're going to pay attention to now, because this card needs to kind of work in mysterious ways. And we're actually going to keep this white, which is the whole point of it. Is use the num keys to go across there like this. Shit. Drew it on the wrong layer. This is why I have to be careful. Card, here we go. Oh. Ow. Yeah, this has all been done on different layers so I don't get stuff mixed up. I know that I've actually shaded certain parts so I know which side is the back of the card as well. That's really handy. So now what I can do is basically go like this. Let me grab this. Can I just drag this down? Or... There we go. Cool. I just need a grey colour. There we go. And do is add a bit of an outline there. Set our shadows. Because each of the whole idea of this is that each different thing is going to be like a different style, and it's all going to come together in like a mixed media unison. Next part of the card is completely white. The shading is what's going to really add like form and 3D to this whole thing, so I've got to be careful with it. And again, we're going to import an image onto here as well. Cool, grab some black. Oh, this is trying to be filled in. Oh, okay, cool. Guess we just need to do a bit of shading, that's all. Maybe a bit of cleanup too. So I think my hand control on this tablet has gotten like so much better since the start of the year. Kind of crazy. I still want this to be a bit scratched up, so we're going to leave that kind of like that. Okay, cool. You can see how this card is starting to flip, so it goes from there to here, and goes to there, and this. And the way I actually did this was I filmed a card dropping, and then kind of drew it frame by frame. Yeah, sometimes I have to use like real life effects to kind of just determine how something's going to be animated. It's kind of how I do animals as well, if I'm animating them, is I'll go to a zoo or find a video or something like that. It's better off doing it in real life because you have more like a obviously clear experience, but yeah, you don't have the time. Always got YouTube. Yeah, so this is this side here is where the green's going to be. So I need to put I need to get the image now because this is where the image is going to be. And you start like warping it onto the card. Problem is I usually have our iPad to take the picture. The card ain't really that important because it's just where last year's drawing is going to go. I think what we need to focus on for now then is just maybe getting the card finished, and then we'll leave that there, do the redraw of these two in the sort of cuter style that we've got going on, and then what we'll do is probably cut stream there. By tomorrow the image will be on this card and you'll be able to see the animation on YouTube, and possibly it's like a little Twitch stream. Animation is a lengthy process. I have deep respect for all animators. I've got friends at uni who are doing animation as well. But I think as long as you're enjoying what you're animating, or at least have some sort of passion for it, it's not as bad. Obviously in the industry you're not always going to be able to animate what you want, but little home projects like this, hella fun. Just why you got to enjoy the little things while you can. And yeah, like I said, so the whole idea of this is every year we're essentially gonna be adding on to this. So, little storyboard, and then just add on to the animation. And then we're not really gonna touch on it until the anniversary. There we go. There we go, cool. Add a bit of shadow. talk more. I wish there was so much to say, but again, I just don't need to be quiet, so yeah. Cool. And then just a little bit of this and that. And this thing basically is just going to fall out of the sky, smash down, and create our ideogram. I can probably sort out timing when it comes to post because I need to slow down certain bits, but you can't can't. You can in animation by like pushing the frames apart and closer together, but I'd rather do it in post. But yeah, that is literally everything done. We got that done in record time. God damn. Yeah, look at that. So speed is now perfect, and it actually looks good. Card's finished. Everything is looking wicked. You guys can't see it too well, can you? If I zoom this real quick. That's what I was do. We're going to have. There we go, that's better. Happy 4 years. Obviously, the front face of that card is going to be like a rendition of last year's redraw. The reason it feels a bit static is because it's laggy a bit. When it's eventually uploaded, it won't be like that. There we go. That's a bit better. I like how they sort of swoop in slowly and then really fast mix together. But again, it's like that bit needs to be slowed down. This needs to be like sped up a bit. But yeah, still awesome, and I fucking love it. Right, now for the new rendition, which we can actually do on a bit of paper. Because the way we're going to do this is draw them on paper and then rendition them into digital by next year, basically. And we're going to make it really simple, so it's not too hard for ourselves. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, save this too. There we go. And these are going to be like really, really cutesy versions, basically. Lovely little sketchbook here from uni. Got my pens under the table. I basically do little character design stuff just here. And all we're going to do, tiny weeny little characters with some pens. Some new pens. sort of playing into the sort of cloaky, roby version that I did the other year. Oh, I forgot to mention, I need to watch the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. It looks really good. I don't know if is it on Netflix or is it because I'm not sure. There we go. Cool. That's number one. We'll add some colour in a minute. But that's done. I'll actually write the name as to... I won't do it in later, it's going to take too long. I could draw them a dragon at some point, that could be quite fun. Create, we're actually going to use a slightly different pen for.
Yep, I finally put a CNC in Toonville. There's a little style I've been developing with the characters. These aren't really the best renditions of like that style, but if I just show you real quick, there's some stuff in here that really like. So basically, these sort of characters, I've been like developing them quite a bit, and these are basically. The difference for CNC is they're not based off people that I've seen. This is based off basically people that I've seen. That's the little mask we were wearing earlier, obviously. Then we've got like this one is based off me wearing an outfit at uni. Basically, so these like toonish sort of characters done in specific ways that I've started developing, along with the draconic style. But it's hard to do with characters that I don't have references for, which is why these kind of went a bit sideways. But what I'm hoping is throughout 2026 we can essentially develop these styles a bit. What we're going to do is grab some colour, chuck it on, and then leave it there. And of course, sign our work. Always sign your work. No matter if you think it's bad or good, always sign your work. I'm just going to do it now. Right, where's our colours? Great, they've all fallen out the bag. That's wonderful. Just knocked my headphones off as well. Right, little colour coder. Yeah, so 59, 48, 46, 56. Was it 56, 46, 9, 58? Here we go. Greens. I just need the brightest one. And then that's that. Actually, no, we need bronze to do our shadows. Cool. Base green. Let's use the highest one first, which is 59. Best part about Who markers is they mix really well when it comes to stuff. Staying down the base real quick. There we go, cool. Right, and then let's grab the other one, which is this. Right, 48. There we go, cool. to the darker spots. There we go. Cool. And then we got a bronze green, which should do like darker, like much darker spots. Let's just see if it's here. Some of the other bits around here like this. Which is a bit different when you're working with toony stuff like this. Never actually attempted to colour one of these toony things, so I'm quite surprised with how well it's going. There we go, cool. And then these are meant to be like robes, not tentacles, but I guess you can have them like robe tentacles. 56 and 46, so 46 is dark one. Oh. Cool. Bit of gunkiness there. And then finally, bit of energy for the ring up the top. Bit of highlights on the outside too. There we go. That is Kadat done. The green, the master of creatures. Sorry, master of characters. What's next? So 7784, 83. 81, 85, 81. These three. So it goes. One is the darkest. Then 81, and then 85, and then we use the 84 and 77 for highlights. can't find them. Oh. There we go. That's 77, 84. That one. Cool. So got 2 stuffs. Use them for horns. Use this for the main stuff. So lightest and darker. Yep. Cool. What's that one? Nope. Oh, iPad's about to start as well. That's fine. We'll get this done in time. Right, that's them done. Geralt and Colette in the modern age. These ways will be added to the animation by next year, and that's that. Yeah, so as I said, my socials are linked over here, along with the YouTube, where this stream's going to be going up as a VOD, and the animation will be on my socials by tomorrow morning, or, well, this morning, but much later, in like 8 hours' time. But yeah, wonderful to see you guys once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, and thanks for a wonderful 4 years, and thanks for all the support so far. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Bye.